Welcome to my 101 show. I'm Johnny Keatth, your host, and this is Actors 2020 podcast. 20 years ago, I used to do a show called Johnny Keath's Actors Radio. It was a live show that we produced in Hollywood. It would be me, the host, my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife of 20 years, Denise, Princess Denise, we called her, and my friend, Big Time Phil. We would do movie news, industry reviews, box office totals, motivational quotes, and more. We had an awesome time for those 2 years every Sunday night live in Hollywood. So this is a continuation of that show, but the format's going to be changed a little bit. What we do now is we promote actors. If you're an actor, we would love to have you on this show. Just contact actors2020podcast@gmail.com. Submit your information and any online presence that you have, and we would love, absolutely adore, promoting you. Our first guest today is a young actress. Her name is Celine Silver. Now that is a movie star name. She was born in Paris, France. She speaks English, she speaks French, and a little Spanish. I've never met her. We're about to meet her together for the first time. So this is Celine Silver. I've checked her out online, all her profiles. She has a lot out there. You might feel a little bit lazy after talking to her because I'm sure she's going to be very inspiring. She's a working actress. It appears that she doesn't have an agent, so I'm very curious to see how she got all that work. So let's give her a call and let's see what she has to offer you.
Hello, this is Sélynne.
All right, this is Johnny Keatth from Actors 2020 podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for being our guest star today. You seem to be the perfect example to start my show with. And the reason is a lot of people have been here 2 to 5, even 10 years, and they have no credits. They have no online presence. You got the Internet Movie Database page, you got the Facebook page, you got your own website, and you have a lot of footage out there. As an actor myself, I'm very impressed.
Oh, thank you.
So why don't you tell us why you decided to even get in this business?
To be honest with you, so when I was younger, my sister was taking classes, like in middle school, she was doing like some theater. And sometimes I would go and watch her. That was pretty inspiring, but I've never thought about doing it myself. When you're at home, you watch TV, you watch movies, and you're like, I would like as well one day, to be in the shoes of those people, like to be able to play different characters. One day I decided, well, I should do it because that sounds really interesting. And I did.
How long ago was that?
Yeah, 2005, I decided to go to a school, a university, to learn more about cinema. Out of nowhere, and you might laugh, but out of nowhere, I woke up in the morning and I said, I am born to shine. And I started to go online and look for acting jobs, and I took some classes and I loved it.
So do you get all your work yourself? Because I noticed I didn't see an agent on any of your resumes.
Exactly, because I do not have an agent. So yes, I get everything by myself. I spend hours submitting every day, like maybe 3-4 hours online looking for work. For the past 8 months, I've been getting about 30 auditions each month.
Wow.
So that's one audition per day. That's a lot.
Take us through that process. What websites do you go to? Which casting agencies are you signed up with?
So I'm on LA Casting.
Okay.
I'm on Actors Access. I use Facebook as well because there is plenty of gigs on it. I use Imdb Pro, which has some casting calls.
Yeah, your Internet Movie Database is very impressive. You have current projects that are in post-production, and they're current. They're current, 2019.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Right now, I have your Internet Movie Database page pulled up, and I'm just going to scroll down, and you have a lot of nice credits and nice
thank you.
Nice promo videos. Thank you. And it's not like something from, like, I would say mine would be like from 2008, 2009. I mean, yours is very current. And you have a lot of footage on you. I mean, your website is. Did you do your own website?
Yes, I did it myself.
Yeah.
My brother helped me just a little bit with some stuff here and there, but yeah, like I'm very perfectionist.
Right.
I spend a lot of hours on it, doing it myself, and that's not that complicated. You just have to be dedicated and spend some time on it.
On your YouTube page, you set that up yourself as well?
Yes, correct.
Right. I love the way you spell your name. I couldn't quite know how to pronounce it until you wrote back. It's just Sélynne, like Celine Dion, right?
Exactly. That's correct. Yes.
That's a movie star name.
Ah, thank you. Wow. Thank you.
No, I'm very impressed. And also, you mentioned something about Facebook. How do you get work on Facebook?
So there is plenty of Facebook groups that's free. Like you just type like casting calls, and then you'll see all those pages that look for actors or models or like even crew people or directors, and that's free. So that's good. And honest, like I've been getting a lot of work through Facebook, like even lead roles.
That's amazing, because most people, they get the agent's book from Samuel French, and they'll do a mail out, and maybe they'll get a call. And then you don't know, because they could just be signing you so you can go to their photographer to pay $700 to get the photo shoot. And then as soon as you're signed, then you're locked in for a year. Then they start hitting you up to go to $400 or $500 acting classes with no auditions. And you're out there busting your butt, and you're getting 30 auditions a month. I guarantee you. Anybody else that I'm going to interview is not going to have the success story. If you're just getting off the bus and you don't know what to do and you don't think maybe you're going to make it, well, this person right here is an example, is that you can do it.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you.
Yeah, because I kept looking, I go, nowhere on here does she have an agent. So are you looking to get an agent? Are you happy just doing what you're doing? I
mean, honestly, I would love to have one. Los Angeles is very competitive, as you must know. So it's hard to get one. And it seems like when you're not SAG, some people are not even interested representing you. So, and like right now, for example, this is pilot season. So most agents are just trying to put their own clients in the door.
That's true.
So sometimes my accent can be an issue for some roles or whatever. Some people are not that open-minded, unfortunately. To have an agent is amazing when you need to go out for big stuff. Like I would love to go out for like pilot with like Fox or Warner Bros.
Right.
I can get work or auditions by myself. Like I know some actors that have agents, and like they've been since January, they've been in 5 auditions.
Wow.
I've done already probably 40 auditions for the past since January.
When you go to the auditions now, do you still get a little nervous at all, like a little butterflies in your stomach?
That's the thing. Oh my gosh. So one thing is, most of my auditions, I get them, so they ask me to self-tape. I used to hate self-tapes because, you got to find a reader and all that stuff, which is very annoying, because asking to somebody every day, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Some people are either jealous or like they don't want to help you or they don't have time. To answer your questions, yes, I still do. When I took one of my first acting classes out here in Los Angeles, one of my acting teachers said, the more audition you do, the more comfortable you get. That is so not true. Like, for example, I can give you an example. On Tuesday, I got an in-person audition to be one of the starring role in James Arthur narrative music video. So James Arthur is like I don't know if you know him, is a singer. He won X Factor, I think, in Ireland, and like, yes, he is a big singer. Like you YouTube him, you'll see he has like million views. And so I went to the audition and I wasn't that comfortable and they asked me so many questions, and at the end, like the director caught me off guard. Like he shook my hands. Some people don't shake hands, like they don't want they're germs. So there were 6 people in the room. All of the other people stood up too and shook my hand. But my hand was still in the hand of the director, and my eyes were on somebody else's. So I was like, wow, I did a big mistake right here. Like, I was nervous or whatever. I turned my head. I didn't lock eyes with him. He's not going to pick me or whatever. So I was like so stressed out when I left the audition room. I was like, I was beating myself up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But actually, luckily the same evening, the casting director told me that they loved me. They wanted to put me on strong hold. And then the day after said, you are booked.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. So you're a member of the Screen Actors Guild currently?
No, I am not. I am SAG eligible,
right.
But I am not SAG.
You're perfect. You can do both.
If I do another SAG project, after that, soon I will have to join.
Right. And at that point, you will need to get an agent because you won't be getting those 30 auditions if you're in the union.
But that's so scary, though.
I know.
That's so scary.
I think they make it a little harder because back in the day, they would just take an honorable withdrawal where you can kind of do both. And I think it's a little more complicated today to do something like that where you can still do non-union films and union films. Right.
So actually, there is you can do something like that. It's called financial core, where you can do both non-union and SAG work. You are not considered as a SAG union member, but you still pay dues. Like, there is so much work as a non-union, or like even a lot of commercials now are non-union. So if you want to make money, like if you want to survive and not have to like wait tables, then, like being FICOR, I think it's a great thing.
Right. That way you could do both. Where are you aspiring to be, say, like in 5 years from now?
Well, honestly, so I have some goals in my mind that I set for myself a long time ago. Like, I don't know if you know about Nicholas Sparks movies, like Dear John or The Notebook or all that. Yeah. So I love, like, I'm a big fan of romantic movies, romantic dramas, and all that stuff. So I would love in the next, so I told myself that, I told myself that 2 years ago that in 5 years from 2 years ago, I will be one of the lead in one of those. So now I have 3 years to make it over there, but I need an agent, of course.
And I actually have a song that I close every podcast with. It's called The Lesson. And when I send you a copy of it, you should listen to the actual words of that song. And it is so true, so true. I used to do that on my radio show. That was 20 years ago. It was called Johnny Keath's Actors Radio. We did every Sunday night. We would do industry news, movie reviews. It was me, my girlfriend at the time, which is my wife now, Princess Denise, and my buddy Big Time Phil. We had a live studio. We went live every Sunday for 2 years, and it was fun. So what would you say to somebody who is just coming in from Oklahoma or coming in from Canada or anywhere in the world and they just got off the bus? What advice do you have for them?
So giving advice would be pretentious, because I mean I'm not where I want to be, but I will say that you got to be persistent. A lot of people come here, right, with a goal. Like, a lot of people come here to do acting or modeling or like directing or whatever. But then they diverge in another direction, and they do Uber, or they wait tables, or they have to find a 9-to-5 job to survive. If you do that, honestly, like, for example, I was in an acting class before, and one of my acting partner told me that he was working 3 jobs to survive. And then I was asking him, okay, how do you get the time to go to auditions or doing what you love, which is acting? It was like, well, I don't really have time for that. But then why do you pay for acting classes or like, why did you even come here? Like, you can stay where you are and do that, right? So you got to be very persistent. The thing is, like, in this industry, like, there is a lot of rejection, sadly. So you got to tell them. If one person tells you no, then the person after might tell you yes. Or sometimes, as one of my friends told me, sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Oh, I can give an example of what I an audition that I did. So it was to be like an actress host, a French host, French actress for like a to teach to do some French videos for Rosetta Stone, and the director, who was also the producer, I think, told me that he loved my audition tape, and I was the top choice for him. And so he sent my tapes to like Rosetta Stone team or whatever, the Rosetta Stone team, and they went with somebody else.
Yeah.
Why? Go figure. But I was the best, apparently. So yeah, sometimes you can be the best and they don't choose you because either you don't look like what they want, or sometimes, like this happened to me, for example, I went to an audition, and so for the audition they were looking for, in the mind of the director, the person that I went for was American, right? Like she has an American accent. The director was so impressed by what I did that he actually made the girl French, and like in the script there is plenty of reference to my culture. Like it changed the script for me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, was the dialogue in English or French?
Oh, it was in English. Sometimes I did a little bit of improvisation in French. I added a few sentences in French, you know.
Can you do that right now?
Oui, qu'est-ce que vous voulez que je vous dise?
Yeah, the French is good. Can you do just a little bit more, like maybe 30 more seconds to say something in French?
Sure. J'ai fait un gros film qui s'appelle Everything That Glitters. Il a été présenté au festival africain-américain il y a quelques temps et c'était génial.
Awesome. That's awesome. Because you say, well, your accent prevents you from getting roles, but it also gives you an advantage of getting roles that other people can't do. So it's
that is very true. Yes.
Yeah, and also when you're going into an audition, sometimes you're not really auditioning for that role in the director's mind, because as long as you go in there and you create a professional relationship and then you leave, because you don't know if you're too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny, too this. And you just don't know. But if you go in there and you know your craft and you kill it, I'm sure you went in for a role and you didn't get it, but they said, you know what, you would be perfect for this other thing. Has that happened to you?
Like, I know someone told me that a few months ago, whatever, like I submitted for something and it did not, back then, because I wasn't right for the part, it did not contact me. But then when he saw me again submitting for something else, it was like, okay, that's it. I'm taking her now. So yeah, this happened, and actually, yes.
I got my SAG card doing extra work on Baywatch.
Okay. Oh, nice.
They would always feature people who had really nice bodies, and my body is just okay. But I was but I auditioned to somebody and they wanted this real model looking guy, and everybody in that room was just, perfect. They're more commercial type. So I just said, there's no way in heck I'm getting this part. So I just went in there and I did my best, and I beat out all the models because of the acting. But they would get the role on Baywatch every time before I would get. So it's so tough. And you said, like, when you leave an audition, you kind of beat yourself up a little bit. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to not even think about it, because you can't beat yourself up.
Sure, but this is what people say, but honestly, I don't know how to do that, because like I told you, I do so many. So like, I don't get paid to audition, right? I get paid when I book the job.
That's true.
So yeah. So that's the thing. And earlier, you told me about being bilingual help too. Like recently, I saw this post on Actors Access. So they were looking for an African American person who speaks French. That was the role of a guy, Philippe, for an industrial thing. Sometimes I have this audacity and I don't care. I just submit. So I submitted. And the casting director sent me a self-tape request. And so that was surprising, first of all, because I went for a men thing. And then I did the self-tape. I wasn't too confident with the self-tape because it was like I didn't see much variation in what I can do really with the role to like make it good, right? To do a good self-tape. But the casting casting director loved what I did, so then she called me for a callback. It was between me and 2 other French guys. So I got a chance out of 3. They went with the guy. Unfortunately, I was kind of annoyed, but that was what was written in the script at first, so, but the fact that, like, even, they considered me and I got the callback was kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm. Just looking at your pictures, you have the pictures to where, you're a very beautiful girl, and there's also pictures where you can look kind of rough as well. You have a lot of range.
Like recently in January, I did like an industrial, and I was playing a recovering addict. So they made me look, oh my gosh, so terrible. But I love it. Like I love being able to play different characters and look different all the time. They always want to look pretty on camera or whatever. But being an actor, you don't always, choose. You choose if you want to do this role or not, but you got to be able to show that you have a range,
Sure. So this is the portion to where I'm going to give you like 3 to 5 minutes if you want to talk about what you've done and where people can find you if they're just listening to this on the audio. So go ahead and close out the show, and it's all yours.
Okay. So I just played a lead role in a short film called What Daphne Saw. So the director actually was the recipient of a prestigious fellowship, a Stephanie Rothman fellowship that is for women that are out there and trying to do movies, like horror movies and stuff like that. So I played the lead in that. I can't wait to see it. Then I just had a movie. I did a big movie with like stars. It's called Everything That Glitters. Like I got a starring role in it. So when I went there, I was supposed to be an extra, but they realized that they did not cast a very important role at the last minute. And so I heard it and I was like, hell, I'm doing it. And so that was the role of a man, actually, called Mr. Matthews. That's the guy who is about to introduce the 2 leads to each other. So that was a very, very important movie. So I ended up with like great dialogue scenes with Golden Brooks, who was nominated for Image Awards. For 2 Image Awards, actually. And right now you can see her on I Am the Night, which is a big TV show with Chris Pine. She's one of the series regular in it. In this movie, you can see Clifton Powell as well. He has about 100 credits on IMDb, big guy. Like all of those people were stars, and I ended up with dialogue with them, so that's amazing. It was just featured at the Pan African American Festival. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. And what else? Oh, I was in People Magazine Investigate. I played Agent Vasquez, a CSI agent. So this was on ID Discovery Channel, so I got my face out there on a big TV channel, so that's amazing as well.
So if a casting director or somebody needed to contact you, how would they contact you?
On IMDb, if you have an IMDb Pro, there is my email address that is written on it, or you can just go on my website, www.CelineSilver.com, and then there is the part where you can contact me, so you can just contact me that way, or on Facebook or Instagram. This is Celine Silver for both. They can find me that way.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, and thank you for being my guest on my show today.
Thank you so much, Anne.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 101. The guest star was Celine Silver. That's Celine Silver, SELYNNE, Silver, SILVER. You can reach her at her website, www.celinesilver.com. You can also look her up on the Internet Movie Database, which is imdb.com.
You can also check her out on Facebook or Instagram. She shared a lot of insights on how you can get work without an agent using all social media sites and the casting sites. She claims she's out there getting 30 auditions a month. That's one per day. Don't you wish you had 30 auditions per month? So we thank Sélynne very much for participating as our guest star. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, episode 102 features a stand-up comic. His name is Nate Adamski. And if you're looking to get into stand-up, you might want to tune in. He has a lot of insight information on how you can start a career as a stand-up comic. He's funny, he's entertaining, and I cannot wait to share his interview with you. Nate Adamski will be my next guest star, so please tune in. Not only can he play the guitar upside down, he has a hidden talent, and you don't want to miss this show. Thank you once again for tuning in to Johnny Keath's Actors 2020 podcast. If you would like to be a guest on this show, if you're an actor, comedian, actor, filmmaker, actor, musician, as long as you have something acting that you want to promote, just send an email to actors2020podcast@gmail.com. And be sure to send links to any online presence you might have, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or your own personal.com website that you might want to promote on the show. We have a lot of awesome shows coming up, including a comedian, Nate Adamski. We have Eric Mosley coming up, who used to be homeless and now he's an advocate for the homeless. He's an actor, filmmaker. You do not want to miss his story. You might want to have some Kleenex nearby because it is a tear jerker and it's going to hit you right there in the heart. Until next time.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Actors 2020 podcast. I'm Johnny Keatth, your host, where we promote one actor at a time. If you're an actor and you would love to be promoted, just contact us at actors2020podcast@gmail.com. Now we're going to end this episode like we end every episode with something called The Lesson. Because life is a bitch. Gee, really? Why don't you tell me something I don't already know? Cause everywhere I go, people tell me what to do. Hey, go to church, go to school, you treat me like a fool. Now, I don't need religion, culture, or class. You don't like that fact? Well, you can kiss my ass. Yeah, I'm white and I rap. You got a problem with that? Loosen up. And don't be so uptight, take it easy, E. We got the whole night, yes I'm psyched. I'm ready to get the show on the road. I don't want to stop, cause I just might explode. I tell you what, home slice, I'm twice as nice than any bad boy rapper called Vanilla Ice. My lesson, yeah, it's hip. In case you didn't know what I'm here to inform ya, I'm better than snow. I don't moonwalk or jump like these Michael J's, but I can hold my own. You hear what I say? Now listen, learn, cause here comes the lesson. Lesson 1. Everybody sit down. JK is gonna take you for a ride uptown. Yo, this is the story of the Hollywood game. Choose your path careful, you're the only one to blame. Now when it comes to pot, crack, tweak, or blow, stick to the rules and just say no. Because you're young, you're eager, you want in the movies. Don't think you'll get there by giving up the booty. Cause they'll use you, abuse you, throw you out like trash. And then you'll discover that you're out of cash. Now your heart, your soul is somewhere on the shelf. And you're walking through the streets now talking to yourself. The lesson. Well, you heard lesson 1, it's time for lesson 2. You have a choice and the choice is up to you. I came to Hollywood to be a rich and famous star, but for now I'm waiting tables and I'm tending someone's bar. Pictures, classes, agents, where the hell does it all end? Every time I turn around, I'm starting over again. I finally got a break with a 5 line and under. My life was starting to roar like lightning and thunder. The phone rings, hello? I'm cast in a pilot. My life spun out of control just like an LA riot. I walked off the set, said to hell with this all man. The phone's not even ringing and my life is in the can. The lesson. Yeah, final lesson here. Of course it's number 3. Now remember, I'm an actor to be or not to be. When the going got tough, I climbed into the bottle. I'm back on my feet now, revving my throttle on the climb to the top. It's the same old games. Now I'm kicking ass and I'm taking some names. Clawing, scraping, screaming, that was a long, hard crawl. But it was all worth it. I'm a box off the straw. Opportunity was there when I took it with a punch. Not now, baby, but let's do lunch. There's a big piece of pie and you should grab your portion. You can be like me, enjoying fame and fortune. Boom! That's the lesson. Go and learn it. It's the lesson. Go and learn it. It's the lesson. Peace out.